The Singapore Grand Prix just didn't really hit, and I think part of that's because no one seemed to be truly happy apart from Russell. I didn't really find myself rooting for anyone. I mean, some people did have a decent race. For example, Behrman got into P9, which was the first time that he got points in Zandvoort, and Alonso got P7 and driver of the day, so he was pretty happy about that, but he wasn't happy about the fact that Hamilton was driving basically without any brakes, so I wouldn't count that as truly happy. And yeah, there was Sainz who finished in P10 after starting all the way in the back, but he was doing that because he got a DSQ, and in the last race weekend he got a podium, so I feel like it was more of a recovery race, so it was good, but I feel like he could have been happier. And this isn't like an analysis video, because to be honest, I don't feel like enough happened for me to actually analyse things, or at least I feel like everything that could have been analysed has probably already been said, but I have been trying to think of content about the race over the past 24 hours, and the main thing I realised is that I kept thinking about the fact that most drivers either had a decent race or a bad race. For example, Ferrari had a pretty bad race. Lewis's brakes just going towards the end, and Charles Leclerc having to heavily manage his brakes and also do a lot of lift and coast is just not where Ferrari want to be. And then with Red Bull, Tsunoda just wasn't really able to make any progress. And then with Verstappen, yes, he ended up on the podium, but he was complaining about a number of issues, for example his shifting issues, and that meant that he was sliding around quite a bit. To be fair, Max did finish ahead of the McLarens, but it didn't look like he was having a great time doing it. And speaking of the McLarens, that was messy. Now I have looked at a number of people's analysis, and it does seem like it was a racing incident, but I did understand why Oscar was annoyed on the team radio, because obviously he wouldn't have seen that perspective. It was what happened after the checkered flag was waved that felt a little weird. Obviously they are going to be happy about the fact that they won the Constructors' Championship, and it was really well deserved. They did amazing this year, and fair play to them. But Oscar seemingly pulling out his team radio before Zach had finished talking to him was pretty odd. But according to the race, this was just a case of unfortunate timing. When Zach Brown's team radio message came through, Piastri was already going through the process of shutting down his car. So apparently he didn't hear it, and therefore he wasn't trying to make some sort of statement. And then there was the fact that Piastri wasn't there for the celebrations on the podium. However, according to the race, this was a really impromptu situation that was set up by F1. And when McLaren did find out about it, they selected as many people as they could and went up there, but it was planned that it was only going to be the team as opposed to the team and the drivers. And then apparently, as they were waiting to go onto the podium, they crossed paths with Norris, and then someone dragged Norris onto it. So if all of that was true, it seems like this was quite a big misunderstanding. But it's just such a shame that such a fantastic achievement for the team was kind of tainted by a messy situation. What I will say is that I think the gloves are definitely off. It will be very interesting to watch how this all plays out.